UFOs in Orlando. This is my first time making this video public. To be honest, I've only showed this to a few people since it happened that night. It was November 3, 2020, and there was also something big happening that day in my country, the presidential election. I was sitting on my back patio looking at my phone when I heard a neighbor yelling that there was fireballs in the sky. She was telling whomever she was on the phone with to go outside and look. She sounded pretty sincere and a little crazy about it, and after listening for a few more moments, I walked out my front door to see what was going on. What I saw was not fireballs, but absolutely some sort of technology that we as humans do not possess. I saw at least 7 to 8 red-lighted UFOs zooming in all directions, with some hovering stationary. I remember it looking like they were all over the sky. I immediately knew I was witnessing something very special. Right above me were 3 of these vehicles, and they couldn't have been more than 25 yards off the ground. One of them seemed to notice me, because it almost instantly covered 50 yards to hover right over me, maybe 10 yards over my head. I wasn't scared, but I was in shock. There was something beautiful about them. They looked like jellyfish without tentacles. You could almost see through it. It was probably the size of a very small car, but completely round. It would expand, get smaller, then expand again. I felt like it was using the energy around it to pull in and push back out as a way of hovering or moving in any direction it wanted. After maybe half a minute of speechlessness, I ran back inside to grab my phone. When I came back out, the 3 nearest to me started to all come together less than 100 yards away. When all 3 were near to each other, they somehow became one, but still managed to stay apart from one another. As you can see in the video, the 3 remaining lights congregated, then started heading up, very quickly. If you can zoom in on the video, you can also see what I meant by jellyfish. In the next minute, they were able to reach an altitude that made them almost seem to be satellites, but they still remained close together, apparently using one another to propel. This is my original cell phone footage from that night, not altered in any way. I know this all sounds crazy. It's a big reason why I have kept it to myself. After showing it to my girlfriend the other night, I was convinced to put it on Reddit and see if there's anyone out there that possibly knows what I saw that night. You can hear me say something about it possibly being a satellite at the end. But that was just me trying to make immediate sense of what I just witnessed. It was most definitely not a satellite. Also, the girl I heard yelling on her phone outside, well, she's still screaming in the background throughout the entire video. I wish I knew her or could talk to her about what we saw that night. Thank you. Post from user SmokeClouds23 at Reddit.